Hello everybody, hello well, my name is Samira Wilson and today you're welcome to A Time with Lady Wilson. Now, like I said in my previous video, I said we are going to be doing a series and my African Asian kitchen. So you're welcome to episode 2 of this series. If you haven't seen the episode 1, I'm going to put a link on the channel. I'm going to put a link above and then you can go there and watch the episode 1. On episode 1 we did a Penang curry, which is an Asian version, to me an Asian version of groundnut soup. So today I'm going to do the African version of the Penang curry. Like I said, if you haven't watched that video, please go ahead and watch it. For this groundnut soup, you need groundnut, of course. Groundnut is the star of the dish, so you need some groundnut. This is I got this unsalted roasted groundnut. Now if you don't have access to that, like back home the way I used to do it was I would get normal groundnut and fry it or roast it then peel it off, but I don't have that kind of time. If you have time, please do that. Otherwise you can just go to your supermarket and get unsalted roasted peanuts. This is what you need. You also be needing some ginger. This is fresh ginger, some chili. Chili, I always say, is totally optional depending on your level of tolerance and if you have kids. If you do not have kids, you can use that. If your kids are resistant to chili, then please add some. It makes a whole difference. Also, you'll be needing some onions. These onions, I'm going to be using it to season my chicken and to cook. You also be needing some fresh tomatoes. I'm going to be dicing these tomatoes. And then you'll be needing chicken. Chicken is the protein, is my protein of preference. You can use whatever protein you like. You can use beef or fish. It depends on you. Like I said, what is available. You'll be needing some seasoning. For this recipe, I'm going to be using salt and Vegeta. If you don't have Vegeta, like I always say, you can use Maggi cubes. You'll be needing some freshly ground white pepper. This is it in my container. You also be needing some olive oil or whatever oil you use. If you use sunflower oil, it doesn't really matter. As long as it's oil, you can go ahead and use that. So this is my salt and Vegeta. Now I'll be using this is onion powder. No, sorry, garlic powder. I'll be using this garlic powder to cook my chicken, and I'll also be using crushed ginger for the chicken. And then for the garnishes, I'm going to be using these spring onions, and I'm going to be using some Australian parsley. Since I'm going to be using chicken for this, and I'm using specifically African chicken, which is the hard chicken, because here we have both hard and soft chicken. When you get a hard chicken, you actually need to cook it for long. So when I get hard chicken, I always like to use my pressure pot to cook it in. So I'm going to be doing that. So in my pressure pot, I'm going to be adding my chicken, and then you have to season your chicken. Always make sure you're seasoning it, because if you don't season it, it's going to be so bland. I'm going to be adding some crushed garlic and crushed ginger, about this much. I'm going to be adding some crushed ginger, about this much. I'm equally going to be adding garlic powder. You can use fresh garlic if you want, but I have garlic powder, so it's all right. I'm going to be adding some chopped onions. This is red onions, finely chopped. I'm going to add it just for extra flavor. I'm equally going to be adding my seasoning. This is Vegeta. I love Vegeta so much. If you're on this channel, you by now know. I'll be adding like a teaspoon of it. I'm equally going to be adding about a teaspoon of half a teaspoon of salt, like so. And then I'm going to be adding some freshly ground white pepper, just for flavor as well. Just maybe you can, if you want to count it, you can do 20 grinds. I don't know if that works, but I just put it onto my ancestors. Tell me, my daughter, that's enough. And then when you've added that, you want to give it a good stir. Make sure you stir it very well so you can coat your chicken very well, because once you close it, you are not going to be opening it until when it's cooked. So you want to stir it properly. And I'm equally not going to be adding any water, because there is water in the chicken. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to close it. So I've put my chicken in the pressure pot. So I'm going to be cooking on pressure. This is pressure and this is slow cook. So I'm going to first put it on. I'm going to turn it on, and then I'm going to look at the pressure. I'm going to be cooking chicken, but this is hard chicken. So I'm going to go to chicken. I'm going to increase the time to about 20 minutes and then start. So this chicken is just going to be here. I'll come back to it when it's cooked. So in the meantime, while my chicken is cooking, I'm going to prepare the rest of the ingredients, and then we'll be back in the cooking. I'm going to be blending my groundnut because I don't have the hand machine. If you don't have a hand machine, trust me, this works just fine. Just put your groundnut into your blender and add a little bit of water, and it's going to blend. This water is just to help my blender. I'm going to add a little bit of it and then blend. I've blended my peanut, and this is what it looks like. I don't like runny groundnut soup. So since I don't like runny groundnut soup, this is the consistency I want. But if you like yours runnier, you can add some more water when you're blending. Now I'll have to give you one tip. If you're someone who cooks a lot of grain and a lot of groundnut soup, I'll advise not to use your blender, because when you use your blender for so long, like blending all these kind of things, it's going to make the blender cloudy and or blurry. So I'll advise that you get a grain grinder or a coffee grinder if you don't have a hand machine. So yeah, now I've prepared my ingredients. Let's cook together. In a hot pot, you want to add in your oil. Oil is hot. I'm just going to be adding some onion. One thing I want to advise is that always add onions, like always fry onion and garlic together. It helps to build the flavor profile of whatever you're cooking. So my onion is looking a little bit translucent. I've been frying it for about 2 minutes. I'm going to be adding my garlic and pepper mix and then frying it for a little bit. Adding your tomatoes. This thing has, like, the tomatoes have been cooking for a good 10 minutes. You want to achieve this. You don't want to keep any water in the tomato, just like that. Then the next thing you're going to add, I'm going to be adding my groundnut. As you can see, it's very thick. This is where you want to add water and achieve the consistency that you want. Like I said before, I don't like a very runny groundnut soup. I like it thick, so I might be adding a little bit more water, but that will be it. So now I'm going to be adding my chicken. I haven't added salt and Maggi and Vegeta yet because I don't know how, like, you know, I cook the chicken with some seasoning. I don't want it to be too salty. So I'm just going to add the chicken, and all the juices from the chicken is going to help loosen the groundnut soup up. I'm just adding my seasoning now, salt and Vegeta, and then cooking for a bit. I'm equally going to be adding some freshly ground white pepper just for the flavor. My groundnut soup at this stage is pretty much cooked, so I'm going to add the garnish. This is just my spring onion and parsley. When I put the garnish, I'm going to just leave it to cook for about 2 minutes, and then we are done cooking. So that's it. There you have it, folk. Groundnut soup, episode 2 of the Panang curry. The common ingredients in these two dishes are groundnuts, and to me, when I eat Panang curry, it reminds me a lot of groundnut soup, and this is what groundnut soup looks like. This is how to cook it. Let's serve it now and see. So this is it. We are done cooking. This is the Panang curry in the African version. This is groundnut soup in Cameroon. I remember when I was in UB, we used to cook this groundnut soup and we'll eat it for a week. You know, we're young and broke. You cook groundnut soup and eat it until when you get tired of it, you add okra, it becomes okra soup. Anyways, that is groundnut soup. I'm going to try this and then we'll see how it tastes. I'll start with my soup first. And then with the rice. Wow, wow, wow. Like, trust me, try this recipe. Just do it the way I did it. You will thank me later, I promise. Thank you so much for staying by. Thank you for being with me until the end of episode 2 of my African Asian kitchen. Stay tuned, and I'm going to be doing something really extraordinary on the next episode. You really don't want to miss that. Thank you so much. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day.